In this video, we're taking a look at a video light kit that really surprised me and one that will definitely have a place in my full lighting kit moving forward. The GVM SD300B Pro clocks in at a bright 300 watt output with bicolor capabilities at a kind of amazing price tag of under $350. Now with the softbox and stand, the total set runs right around $450, and normally I wouldn't care much about these kind of accessories, but in this case, no pun intended, I'll actually be using, the case, the softbox, and the stand, but more on them later. Quick disclosure before we get into it, GVM did send me this light for free. They didn't pay me for anything I'm saying, and you're seeing this video when they do, so for whatever it's worth. Now, when it comes to build quality, there are so many improvements over the previous GVM light that I reviewed. First being just the overall look. This light is super sharp looking and has a really professional build and feel from the minute you open the also well-built case that it comes with. The light features an all-metal enclosure with some really nice brushed metal textures along with vents on the top and bottom. Now the yoke uses the same rosette metal mechanism to lock both sides, which it actually doesn't have any play in it like the previous GVM light did, so definitely good on them for improving this. I still like Aputure's one-handed friction lock for the yoke much better, but it's still a pretty solid design and it's definitely not going anywhere. And before we get to the menus, the fan noise really isn't bad at all. It has a really soft breeze hum sort of sound to it, so I'm not too worried about it obstructing any audio for my shoots. Moving on to the back, the knobs are also much nicer than before. The knobs to adjust brightness and temperature have a really tactile turn and also a very tactile click when you press the brightness knob. The smaller mode buttons are okay, but they definitely feel a little cheap. The display on the back is actually a full color display, giving you clear access to all of the various lighting modes, but for me, I'll only be using the brightness and temperature and really have no use for the custom scenes at this point in time. Now, a quick note about the cable itself. They still haven't added anywhere to hang the box itself, but the AC wall cable is plenty long enough where you can kind of rig up sort of a knot hanger thing so you can hang it right on the light. But again, it would be really nice to have something like Aputure does, just a little metal loop that you can hang on without worrying about any of your connections coming loose. Finally, the light itself is really, really fantastic. As a wedding filmmaker primarily, having a light that I can set up for receptions without having to mess with CTO gels is super, super nice. Time is so precious in those situations, so to be able to set up the light, the color temperature, and do it all remotely in the app saves me so much time and headache and just makes it so much easier overall. Also, the light comes with a really nice diffusion disc on the front, which does a really nice job of slightly softening the chip just so it's not super harsh. But it doesn't make a huge difference, but it's just enough that it is definitely worthwhile. Now, when it comes down to it, people are buying this as a budget 300 watt bicolor light. Ultimately it has to do those things really well. And I can say based on all of the other competition out there, as far as I can tell, this seems to be the best budget 300 watt bicolor option available. And I could be wrong. If you know of other options, please definitely let me know about them so we can steer people in the right direction. But this light for $350, right around there, you get such a fantastic package. And while there are definitely a lot of other people that are going to be doing more scientific tests on the overall brightness, I can tell you that it is significantly brighter than my other 100 watt lights. So definitely no complaints on output at all. This is only like at 25% and it's plenty for just talking head stuff. Now finally, the softbox and stand that I mentioned before also might be worth adding to your order because my biggest issue with softboxes is storage. I hate breaking them down, storing them, and then putting them back together for every single shoot, which is why I tend to just leave them set up and they just look terrible, take up space in the corner of a closet, and it's just frustrating. And while the softbox in this kit is only 24 inches, the fact that it comes with a really nice case that it collapses into easily and quickly has made this one of my favorite softboxes. And the collapse mechanisms on the softbox itself are really, really well made, so definitely no complaints there. And sure, at 24 inches, it's definitely not gonna be the softest softbox in the world, but to have a small, easily mobile setup to me is a huge selling point, especially if you're a content creator and you're doing talking head videos like this, in a bedroom like this. Having just a small, compact light that can be easily, stored in a closet, broken down into a really nice small package is, again, a really big selling point for this light. And also, the stand is air cushioned, which was a welcome surprise as well. So I have to say, GVM pretty much killed it with this lighting kit, so I can say without hesitations, definitely go pick one up. It's linked below, and thank you guys so much for watching.